welcome to Screenhops podcast episode 5, not 6. And in a blooper reel you'll see eventually, I do say 6. So we're going to start today off in the spirit of Halloween. And the first topic today is what makes a good horror game. And we can start over with Malego, who recently did 1-part stream of Resident Evil 7.
See, he got so scared that it's just his knee broke.
No,
so
but
that's how he got that injury.
It's a work-related injury, so I can't discuss it on camera. But what I can say is about Resident Evil, or what makes a good horror game, is I would say the element of suspense, good atmosphere, like that tension, that build-up to that jump scare, makes a good horror game. All I have to say, Resident Evil 1, dogs, right?
Oh, man.
Yeah,
Dogs in the windows.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being like 13 or 14 and Resident Evil 1 coming out and me going, oh, I'm not scared, I can handle
The
this.
funny thing about that part, Malego, is that you still, even when you know it's coming, it's still scary.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's times where I've replayed Resident Evil 1 and I'm like, I know the dog's about to jump out. Once at the end of the hallway. And it'll still make me jump. Like,
Yeah.
It's that, I don't know.
Anyway, I remember running and shutting it off like a sissy and then trying to pretend that I did play it and beat it, which I did not. Yeah, so it's really about just atmosphere, setting the tone, build up, and then the payoff, which is like a jump scare, and it just has to keep going in repetition with that.
I'm gonna go against that because I don't think suspense really does it all, because you could be in suspense for so long and just eventually just get bored. Okay, where is everything happening? But I feel the restriction of certain things, in Resident Evil 7, it's got that creepy tone, and when you do get your gun, you only have so many bullets to act out of that.
I know.
So I feel just
it was a good balance.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
oh, I have a gun, safety, but then you're like, oh, I only have so many bullets.
yeah,
so,
pretty much. So it's just that a bit of suspense, but also the restriction of crap, should I do this now? Do I wait? Is something else is gonna come after me?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow. Sorry, we're falling apart. There we go.
It's fine.
I'll fix it.
So, I think it's more of that panicky vibe you get in a horror game that's really great. You ever had say I know in Silent Hill, and then you say in Silent Hill you're in a room and then you check a drawer or something, and then an ambush scene happens, and then all these monsters are around. Because that just happened and it surprised you, and now you're panicking, and especially in a game like that, you're over here panicking what? And you pause the game and it's just what just happened?
Oh yeah.
What just happened? I had so many moments like that. It's just what do I do? Or an unexpected boss comes out of nowhere. You ever been really low in health and ammo, and you just walk into a room, boss battle, and it's what?
Yeah.
It's just
the unexpected.
Yeah, it's just the unexpected. I guess that leads right back into suspense.
Yeah.
It's just not knowing that thing of not knowing what's about to happen is really scary. It just makes you not want to keep going, and I think that's what defines a horror game. That feeling of just not wanting to go on. When I was playing Evil Within 1, it was just after a couple moments, I'm just I really don't want to proceed forward. I just want to stop playing the game. But I bought the game, and I'm I have to play it. And this is just I don't want to play it. So.
I played that demo for Evil Within, when it came out with the dude hacking up people. Yeah. And when I saw the bodies on the chains, I was like, oh hell no! I'm not playing this.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I believe that's what makes a good game. Just not a feeling of unease, constant uncomfortability.
No safety.
Just no safety. You feeling uncomfortable in your own home. That's when the game itself has done its job. So.
Yeah, I would say one aspect that I love in a horror game, even though I hate it the most, is the chase scenes, where it's a really good one.
Oh my god.
On the Joy Creation game, I think does this really, really well. You can hear the sound of it, and it's so heavy and it's just coming at you fast. I hate that so much. I freeze up every time. I'm just nope, this is death. I'm just gonna die. This is it.
See, I hate games where you're chased.
Oh, this
Pac-Man.
the worst.
Pac-Man, traditional
It
Pac-Man
gives you
stresses
so much.
me out.
It gives you so much anxiety.
Oh my, the anxiety is
You
crazy.
just,
Like,
you
Yeah.
instantly go into flight mode. You're
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, oh, I have to get out
Oh,
of
what
this.
what
God,
game? What game
But-
is it that like?
Good call.
I'm trying to think of a game that.
You know
Has
what
a-
game like that I had that moment with, just like the chase scene and everything, was the first Halo when it first introduced like the flood.
Oh
Just-
yeah, and you're
oh
trying
my
to-
god, I was
yeah, he's
scared
right.
shitless.
Like I remember when I was playing Halo 2 when the flood was first introduced. There's this part where you have to run to like the ship or whatever, and it's like the flood is there. You know they're there, and you know they're chasing you, and you're so scared to turn around.
Yeah.
You just keep going.
Yeah, I think that's also a big aspect, is that unknown aspect. I feel like the more you explain it, the less scary it becomes.
Yeah.
You have to have that element of, I have no idea what this is, why it is,
Why
but it's
happening.
coming for me. Like,
Yeah.
I really enjoy horror games where you can't even see the enemy. It's just like this unspoken thing chasing after. That's the worst. When you
Yes.
combine those two, and it's like you turn around and you don't see it, but you hear it coming for you. That's the absolute worst.
Yeah.
Zombies.
Yo,
the
man.
absolute
I hate
That's
zombies.
crazy. Like
So, what would you say then is like one of the scariest moments you've had? Like,
The scariest moment?
Based
It would
off your
either
answer or not.
be the Halo 1 experience, or I'm honestly not like a big fan of like, horror games, so I don't really play a whole lot. But the other one I had was probably like Dead Space 3, because it was like the first Dead Space I got into, and I just had no idea like what was coming to me, and just and those like creatures just first pop out, it's just terrifying. But yeah.
I would say pick apart an Eternal Darkness on the GameCube. That game just messes with your head so much and stresses me out so much. Like, I thought my GameCube wasn't working. Like, it is one of those games where you're just like, oh god, I don't want to go through this. Yeah. So worst part is when I thought my GameCube wasn't working from playing Eternal Darkness, because it was like real life stress hitting me. I thought it was broke.
for me,
Your scariest moment.
scariest moment. Probably be it's a combination of two things. It was the Silent Hill 2 part where you're with this girl named Mary, I believe, and like you have to run to an elevator, and as you're like going down the hallway, Pyramid Head shows up and he's chasing you and Mary, and you're running through all these like crisscrosses and like hurdles and stuff, and you get to the elevator and she gets stuck on the door, and of course, cliche is like you get them, you make it, and she doesn't. I think that part's scary because as a kid I was like 9 when I played Silent Hill. It was just like, and it was just like I looked at that part and it made I legitimately cried at that part because I was just like,
Jesus.
why did that have to happen? And I stopped
the
playing.
amount of stress and you're
It's just
just
the
like,
amount of
"Oh,
stress
God."
that I went
Gets
through
you to
because
that
I was
level.
like, yeah, because first of all I failed that part a couple times. Like I was so scared just to move. Like I think I left my game on and I just walked out of the room and it was just kept like dying. And I came back and 2 hours later just on the game over screen and it was just like, wow, like I can't do this. Like I got to the point where I had to get my brother to do it because I was too much of a chicken. And I don't know, that part just stuck with me since. Like, just like, why couldn't she make it? Bro? It's scary. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary.
Mommy, why?
Why couldn't she?
Vietnam flashback.
It's like the image that flashed in my head was that dog that's like.
But then like.
Yeah.
But then, like, on another note, like, for less of, like, a psychological thing, it's, like, I guess Five Nights at Freddy's, like, I wouldn't say, like, it was a super scary game, but that game got me extra. I've never
In
been
the
so...
beginning, like when it first came out.
Like, I say
yeah,
Five
yeah.
Nights 1 and 2.
I mean, that's what I was talking
Like-
about, like, also, like, with the whole restriction thing, like,
Yeah.
the first one does it really well, as it
Because
just
it's
restricts
like-
you from, like, any type of movement, and, yeah.
Exactly.
I
It's
think
like,
the failing of that game though is like once you figure out the strategy,
Yeah.
it just takes it out because you're just like, okay, this is gonna happen.
Like, the first time
the
I
Yeah,
went
first,
like
through
the
it.
first
first
time you
go
play it,
through
like,
it.
Yeah.
because I remember when I was playing it, I've never had such a feeling paranoia in my life. Like, I'm playing this game and I'm just like, you gotta memorize patterns. Like, that game is a complete trial and error game, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
definitely.
have to experience it the first or
Yeah.
second or third time to get a grip of it. So,
Yeah.
I feel like the downfall of that game though was oversaturation.
probably.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
too many Five Nights.
There's
at
too
Freddy's.
many.
Yeah.
And then
They
the
should've just walked
community
away.
started making, like,
Mhm.
spin-offs and stuff, and it's just like
Yeah.
Five Nights of Mario's, Five Nights of Wario's, Five Nights of Yoshi's. Five Nights at Waluigi.
I think
Like-
to this day, like the Joy of the Creation is like the best
Probably. That's
fan made one
best.
by far.
That's a
because
great
it takes
game.
it to a whole nother level, and
that's a great
then the running animation.
Oh
so
my
good.
god, it's so scary.
good, so
I've never-
scary.
You know what was
I think
really
it's
horrifying though?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to play Super Mario 64 like all the time, and you know
I don't know how you're gonna get to the scary part from here,
So-
from where it's starting.
so you know the level where you go into Boo's haunted mansion or whatever, and there's that like one piano. Like if you get too close to it,
Oh yeah.
it jumps out at you.
Yeah.
That was so scary as a kid. I thought it was gonna like pop out of the TV and just like
I don't
eat
know
me
where
alive.
I was waiting for it to become a creepy pasta at some point. Like, it's how it started. It's how it started.
Or the wife from Resident Evil 7, from what I've experienced. If you watch the stream, like,
Oh, that
you
part where
find
she's
her.
like, what? Like,
Yeah,
I hate
yeah.
that part.
Yeah, like I found her on the couch, and I'm like, oh, it's the wife, but she's gonna turn on me. She's a zombie. And I just remember like going, oh hell no, and shutting the door, and then
Well, I mean, if you look at
having
the
to go back
paper,
in.
it'll like it shows like the list of people
Yeah,
that are
yeah,
dead
yeah.
and turned, and like her name's on there, and it says turned.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I knew it.
I would say one of my scariest moments. I was playing Alien Isolation.
Oh
Same-
god,
Oh,
that is a
no.
good one.
Oh
Good
my
call.
I never played it.
It's because I think majority of the game's not too bad, like scare wise, but like once they introduce the alien, it's just that factor of I'm walking around, I'm in my own business, and then you hear it, you hear that little slither. I remember I was going through a vent, and I was just like, oh, you know, I was trying to figure out. It was the first time I went into the vent, and I was trying to figure out how to turn the flashlight on. And then as soon as I turned it on, I just seen it sitting like at the end of the thing staring at me. And I just was like, I'm just gonna die.
That's another thing.
I freaked out and I just put the controller down. I was like, oh, I'm gonna die.
That's
This is
another
it
thing.
right
It's
here.
like I love when games introduce like the main antagonist,
Yeah.
and they just have the antagonist just sitting there. Like remember in like PT
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you can walk
Yeah.
down the hallway and you just see that.
Or the
figure.
guy like hanging
Yeah, and
in,
it's just
in the hallway.
sitting, just sitting there, and it's just that. Oh my god! Like I remember Silent 2. I keep bringing this up.
PG was really good with like the
Yeah,
background
like-
sound, like you can feel it in the back of your
Jesus.
neck.
That feeling.
I love that
like,
audio manipulation.
And that's
Like,
that's
you
where it
can
goes into
hear
like
it in the
psychological
back.
effect. Because even when nothing's there, it's just like
Nope.
it
You
could
Start
be there.
freaking out over like the little
You start
things.
freaking out over nothing, and especially and games like to play games on you too.
Yeah.
Like a door opens up and it scares you, or like a book falls on the floor and you're jumping like crazy. And it's just a
Or
book.
you, as the character, do something.
Yeah,
You knock
like-
something over. You freak out.
Yeah,
You're just like,
like-
okay, that was me.
Yeah, PT is better than a horror movie.
God,
In my
PT
opinion, I wish
PT's
they
probably
would
the highest
have fully.
level of a.
I wish they would have fully developed that game.
Oh my
I
God.
would have bought it.
It sucks that it went through so many complications.
Oh my God.
What were the complications?
Kojima.
Exactly?
Kojima and the
Yeah.
Konami,
Yeah.
That whole thing just drowned the game.
Friends don't let
Sucks.
friends talk about Kojima.
They actually made like this there's like this YouTube video out there where they made like a live action version, and it's actually really interesting to watch. Like,
Of what, PT?
really like, yeah, it's like a PT style in a sense, but it's like somebody going through their house. So it kind of structured the way your house looks, like going up the stairs.
That's not a
I
good
don't think you
image.
should watch it.
That's not a good
It's
image.
actually kind of creepy how much how it looks to
No,
that.
don't watch that video.
I don't think you should watch it though.
That's not.
You're gonna have like
Walking
nightmares
around your
of
house
like,
in the dark.
Natalie trying to kill you.
I go to walk in
standing
my
in the hall.
I go to walk in my garage, and it's just the hallway again.
Oh my
And you open the door here, she's just standing in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
That would be the
so
worst.
much.
Yeah.
That would be the worst. But okay, so I think it's time that we move on to some trailer reactions.
Oh, yeah.
I think we can make this like a bi-weekly thing because I think a lot of trailers come out often.
Yeah.
So kind of still sticking with the horror aspect. The Evil Within 2 launch trailer just came out
Ooh.
because it comes out tomorrow.
Yes.
And it looks amazing.
It looks
personally.
really good.
I'm not gonna play it. It's that good that I'm not gonna play it.
You can just watch like a gameplay.
Nah,
You know,
I think
just
Could be
watch
another
a Let's
stream.
Play.
The thing about me is I don't like watching. I usually watch playthroughs for games like this, but like this game is like it looks
I have
so
to
promising
play it. I just wanna
that I have to play it. Like for me, like games like Uncharted and Nier.
Uncharted
Nier,
was
stuff
so
like
boring. You want to fight?
that.
Do you guys want to
Games
fight?
Like, games like Uncharted.
We're not gonna
and
spiral.
Nier.
No one's on your side, my friend.
Sit back.
Games like Uncharted. I never watched any playthrough for Uncharted except for one, but I never watched any because I always told myself I wanted to play it myself.
Yeah.
Same thing for Nier, and the same thing goes for Evil Within 2. I'm not, even if I don't get it the day it comes out, I'm definitely gonna get it, whether it's full price or half price. And I'm gonna stay loyal and not watch any evil playthroughs because I think it is gonna be like good. Like
it looks good. It looks very much like you're gonna go in. If you play the first game, you're gonna go in and you're gonna know exactly like how to play and how to do things. But it seems so much into. It's just like they came up with a whole new concept and ideas and these new characters, new villains. So it's just like it just feels like you're gonna have that horror aspect.
I like how it's just more about Sebastian this time around. I like that. Like.
Yeah,
You kind of doubling him as a character himself, like
it's like me wearing pink. It's just not for me. It's not for me.
Oh man, it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be
Super
great.
excited.
It's gonna be great.
So then also this one's kind of just like a random one because actually Raid World War II, I had no idea about a CGI trailer that it had until Fabian was watching it, and I was like, what are you watching? And I was like, no, not this. And then he watched the gameplay trailer, and the absolute like.
That trailer.
No offense to the developers, but like it looks like when the PS3 first came out. Graphics.
Oh my god, that's PlayStation 2 graphics.
I watched the trailer today, and what I'll say about the trailer is I love John Cleese. I love John Cleese in anything, but John Cleese is not going to sell a subpar game.
Yeah,
and it looks so bad. It looks like an Xbox 360
I was just like, PlayStation,
game.
why is this on your channel? Like, I was like, why are you promoting this?
Oh, like, this game looks so bad.
Like, literally imagine PS3 graphics when it first came out. That's what it looks like.
And you could tell, like,
graphics-wise,
the frame rate's so bad.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm just like...
And the trailer itself
it just stuck out so much. It just stuck out so much because I was just like, oh, cool. Like, I'm going to go through some trailers. What can we talk about? And it just stuck out so much because it was like the fact that this quality is coming out and is being promoted by Sony in 2017 when you have games like Uncharted or games like freaking Call of Duty or anything like that with such good graphics and such good like an interface. And then you get this game. And it's just like, you guys did not have the budget at all. And I feel like it's a game that they probably took way too seriously. It just looks like they're going to take it way too seriously for what it is. Maybe they should have made it a little more funny, so then it's kind of just like a throwback aspect.
It looks like a generic World War II shooter.
Yeah, like
you
PUBG,
pick a role.
but with World War II.
It's like
that's what it looks like.
Brute Force and Call of Duty 1 had a baby.
Yeah, basically.
I was reading a Reddit thread on how someone, like, they say they purposely did that because they wanted to. They said the World War II vibe and they wanted to, like.
Whatever. They're just trying to cushion what everybody's saying on
Of course.
Because the CGI trailer is insanely good. Like, it's just, like, really, like, the quality of the CGI trailer. I was like, why didn't you apply this to the actual game?
Yeah, that made the game look
the CGI trailer, like, he was watching, I was like, no,
CGI trailer looked amazing.
Don't believe this garbage.
It looks amazing.
So they kill zoned it.
Yeah, like, it just looks super, super good. And then the game itself, I was just like, what? Like, where did the budget go? The budget ain't.
The budget went to advertising.
Yeah,
which
basically.
I have a feeling for the uneducated in video games,
like,
that game will sell.
And
because
then
they have
it,
John
and
Cleese and they have the venues that they paid for. It'll sell.
I mean, regardless of the graphics, the game is probably still solid. So. Like,
no.
Like seeing like they did the shooting aspect, like
you can't say that.
You know, like in the old games where it'd be like, ooh, and then the shooting, like it looks like it's just.
But there's plenty of games with really bad graphics that are really good.
Cheap.
I will say that I will give it a shot if I have the opportunity. But I will not pay $60 for it.
No.
Is it $60?
I think it's a full price game.
And I most certainly won't pay $20.
It looks like a $12 game.
Yeah.
Like you pay $12
like,
for
I found this at a Walgreens.
It's in the bucket at Walmart, and you just pick it up.
It's like one of those indie games 360 had. That's really
like, Walgreens had this on the clearance rack.
Yeah, basically.
It was in that bin where it's like clearance, greatest hits.
Yeah, like Walmart where you're just like, oh, okay,
greatest
cool,
hits.
$5.99.
Yeah.
So, moving on, so we can't go into Psychonauts 2, which I think me and Tony are super excited about.
I don't know.
Fabian hasn't played the first one.
It looks really good.
So, like, I
have not played the first one in its entirety.
You played it, so you played it.
I have played it. It is really good.
Wait, what is it? It's like a platformer, right?
So
Is it?
it's but it's kind of like I don't know how to explain. It was like for its time, it's like such a crazy kooky game. Like imagine like Wes Anderson and Tim Burton had a baby. This is that game.
Yeah.
Like this is their game. Like it's
so
that kooky,
what exactly
crazy.
makes this game so like different from any other?
Probably the style, if I had
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
And,
And the
scenes from the
feeling
trailer, I was so happy to
and-
see in the trailer, like that they kept that style. So it's like the graphics look better, but at the same time, it's like it's still that little chunky kind of boxy style
Yeah.
that it was before. Like it looks so good.
Yeah.
Now you gotta play it. Like it's
Because,
so
like,
interesting.
it looks
For
pretty
anybody who hasn't played, you should go
So,
back
I just want to know like,
and
what,
play it. It's so,
so
good.
what exactly is like the biggest like what's the I just want to know like different from other platforms like Crash Bandicoot or Jack and Daxter or like Banjo-Kazooie.
What's different from it? I think for
Style and setting
style.
Yeah.
So,
is really
Yeah.
and
so what about gameplay wise?
gameplay. I mean, it's a
it's
platform,
challenging.
Yeah.
Like you go into the game thinking, oh, it's like a kid's game, but like it's actually challenging. Like
and there's a lot of like hidden adult humor in it too.
yeah.
Okay, it's one of those
Yeah.
things. Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. Like when you
Yes.
get in and it's like the tutorial's good and fun. It's an engaging game. Like you should definitely go check it out. Especially
check it
with Psychonauts 2 coming out. Definitely interested in seeing how they're gonna implement it, keep it going, keep the humor going, and things like that. I was actually looking at the page that they had set up, and they beat their whole limit. They're at like 116%. Like beat their whole thing. 'Cause people are so excited. For
It's because it's a Double Fine game. People love Double Fine games
Mm-hmm.
to the point of obsession.
They know how to make it. They know how to make it.
Wait, what other games has Double Fine made?
Grim Fandango,
Okay.
well, Psychonauts is the one that comes to my head first. Monkey's Island, like they did
Oh,
a lot
really?
of the like point and click games, although they were under like the Lucasfilm label.
Oh really?
What's the one with the
Yeah,
boy and the
Psychonauts
girl?
is Lucasfilm's one.
They did the Day of the Tentacle. Then they were the one with the boy and the girl that came out.
It's like
The boy's on the spaceship and the girl's on the planet.
Oh, that one's so good too.
Yeah, it's a point and click game.
What
That
is
one
it
with
called?
they're sitting
You
all
can
back
split
to back the
between
tree, right?
them.
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't remember.
I
what it's
can't
called.
remember for the
I
life of me.
see it too. I see the whole game. I played it and I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You played the game?
Mhm. It's actually really interesting. It's good.
Wait, what makes it?
Well, some parts you're kind of just like.
I heard some pretty mixed
Yeah.
things.
Maybe depends. It
I heard some pretty
depends.
mixed things about it.
It depends on it's. I like that they created that dual aspect because maybe you favor the boy story more than the girls and things like that. But it's actually it's really good. So moving on to our last trailer, which I think is probably going to be the longest conversation. Star Wars Episode 8 coming out. The last trailer.
I'm psyched.
Oh.
Now look,
Yes.
I'll say
Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
think it's gonna happen.
Here's
I
the
think
thing.
I'm with
Here's the
everybody
thing.
else who thinks that they've cut up the trailer to give it some more suspense than what it
Yeah.
is. But I will say that if they kind of play it where Rey turns to the dark side and then it's kind
That'd
of
be
like
amazing.
an Anakin Skywalker versus Obi-Wan Kenobi battle again, like I'd be so here for it. Like
the thing about it is like I was reading some comments and people were kind of upset that they were coming out Star Wars movies like
so
back
close
to
to each
back.
other.
Like they had
Because it makes you question quality.
Episode 7, then the stories one, and then 8.
Here's what I'll say. As long as the quality is there,
Yeah.
I don't care. Ooh, I just spit a bar.
I wasn't really like
Bars.
Bars for days.
I wasn't really like partial on episode 7 mainly because like I don't like that teenage angst Kylo Ren.
I love his
I
love
character.
it. His character is
love
amazing.
his character.
And the Kylo Ren grab, bro.
I can see. I can see where
He's
you're
such a
going.
whiny. He is such a whiny little baby to be like.
I think he
Darth
borderline-
Vader.
That's the
He
point.
tries
I
too
think,
much.
I think they
there.
purposely did that.
He
Put
tries.
yourself in that situation. You know what I mean? Like, you get sent away by your mom and your dad over to some temple to study under some priest. That's your uncle. And, like, you go there, you study for years. Some guy comes along and is like, you have great power, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, you know what?
That
I'm
is
bouncing.
one thing I'm
I'm gonna
like
mess
kind
him
of
up.
like really
That's why
interested to
he's
see.
angsty.
Is like I want to see more of Snoke as well. Like I want to
Yeah,
know
I
who
think
he
he's
is.
taking a bigger role. in
Well,
this
yeah,
one.
we saw in the trailer,
Yeah,
like,
he's
he's
gonna take a
grabbing
bigger
Rey
role.
with
Yeah,
the Force.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I want to know who he is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I want to know. It's like, who
What's
is
his name?
Snoke? Like,
Snoke.
does because he said in like episode 7, Kylo Ren was like struggling with not going to the light. Like, does he go to the light, and is he like, Rey, I'll show you how to be a proper Jedi, or is he bad at that point in the movie? Like I have no idea. And like I find his character like, he's a little angsty, but if you're at his age and you've gone through what he's gone through, like. But I can totally understand.
I think they're focusing less on the action aspect, but more. It seems like more on a coming of age kind of story.
Yeah.
Like for both Kylo and Rey, kind of has like this duality. Like she's no character or anything. That's why she's like a clean slate. Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting that they posed it, whereas like her dad just kind of like go away. Like I'm not gonna help you figure out who you are. So she has no choice but to dip into the dark side. But do I think it's gonna go that way? Probably not. It would be interesting though if it did. Yeah. And them forcing Luke
I
to
also
have to come to the forefront
I
again.
really want to see like what's gonna happen to Luke, cause
I'm pretty sure he's gonna die.
I hope it goes well
he's
because
probably gonna die.
They killed Han Solo.
That section could seem like
I mean they're also killing.
Let's place bets.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher dying.
Well,
who thinks she's gonna get killed?
Yeah, she's
definitely not gonna get killed.
Yeah,
they're just gonna hologram her.
She has to die. It only makes sense. Like I don't think there's any way you can just write with the character that she is. Like you can't just write her out.
Maybe
like,
she's just
she's
busy
not gonna
managing.
she's not gonna just like fall.
She just stunt double.
All right, so
she's the general of it all.
Is she gonna die based on tragedy, or is she gonna die? Well, I shouldn't say
based
tragedy.
on the trailer where they kind of posed it like Kylo.
Is Kylo going to kill her,
no.
or is she gonna die because of some circumstance?
Maybe it's going to be kind of like a little bit of both, where it's like he's not the direct cause, but something he does causes a ripple effect, which causes her death.
Maybe.
Who's that clone trooper that Hondo?
Finn.
Finn.
My question
is that
I'm wondering if he goes evil.
Is that home guy from?
Yeah, they posed it with like in his dark suit.
Yeah, he's looking.
He's still seeming like he's on the light, but like.
Well,
he's
wouldn't that be interesting? Because like. He was this very one-dimensional character in the last movie, and you thought, he's never going back. Like, because he said the whole time, I'm not going back. And then here he is, like, standing around, and I'm thinking, like, oh, maybe he, like, killed Phasma, or beat the crap out of her, and then took control of, the First Order.
That'd be pretty cool.
And then, like, maybe he starts going evil, or maybe he gets reprogrammed.
That would be interesting. Instead of them going for this whole light aspect, they actually go further into... I mean, it is called The Last Jedi, so maybe that means that they all turn to the dark side and they go with that route. And then it's kind of like that. But then I feel
in episode 9, they just kind of sit around. It's like, so,
is there an episode?
Oh, the Jedi are gone. What now?
So what now?
Is there an episode 9? Is there going to be an episode 9?
Yeah.
I thought it was only
a trilogy. It's always
it's always a trilogy.
It's always a trilogy. Pretty sure they're working on 9 right now.
Yeah, knowing Disney, they've got 10, 11, 12 also planned.
Yeah, probably.
So I just want to like the way, like like the clone trooper in 7 who was like Schrader, right?
Yeah,
that's like my favorite character. I just want to see him because like he posted up, like he threw his gun down and pulled out his baton. He was like, "Let's go."
I think there's
Let's
like
go
a
right
good
now.
80% of the fan base that is with you right there.
I just don't like who.
I
that
don't
is
know.
like the most
Memes.
gangster.
I love the dancing gifs. Where
You can do that's like the most gangster thing you can do. Okay, you just toss down your gun and you're like pull out your blade. You're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, I think they really did come back with a bang.
I feel as though they saw that.
Really interesting because like they're in a temple and they like show off like that book, but like before there's like no like scene thing about like any type of books or anything, but this is a book. So I mean, so it shows like how ancient it's probably going to be.
I think I don't know. I think it'd just be cool if like Rey and Kylo switched like sides. Like Rey turned evil.
That'd be pretty interesting.
Because Snoke was just trying. He wanted.
Yeah, he could tell.
So, I think maybe in that scene he's not only getting her. I mean, there's theories that he's already in her mind. Like from when she was first captured. I don't know about that, but I would say from that scene that we seen where he has her, like it'd be interesting to see like maybe over the course of the film and then the next one and maybe the next trilogy, like it's a slow like build up to her becoming the next Sith Lord.
I feel like Snoke
something
doesn't
like
really
that.
have any interest to Kylo Ren. He's just kind of like using him at this point
Probably
to get
at
to
first,
Rey.
but now he's like, oh, okay, here's this child with so much potential. I love that.
Yeah.
So then Kylo's kind of probably go off. That's why I'm saying maybe then he's trying to leave, but like he makes this one final decision which kills his mom, and then it's like his final like epiphany.
Yeah,
like,
'cause he
oh,
says
I'm gonna
how-
change to the.
Yeah, because he said how like everything was supposed to be in the trailer, how everything was supposed to be better after like Han died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then like it's not getting better.
Yeah.
You know what would be really crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So if Rey does turn evil, what if she was the one that kills Leia?
That's what I was thinking too. Like
That'd be
Or-
really
that would be
insane.
really good. That'd be a good.
You know what would
twist.
be even better? Even better. Let's say, guess who kills Carrie Fisher? Jar Jar Binks.
I've been expecting you.
And he kills Snoke, and he's the mastermind the whole time.
He is Snoke.
Or,
And
yeah.
actually,
He's like,
at some point, he
I've been waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, at some point he was like deformed and became
Yeah.
Snoke. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You guys killed Annie. I'm gonna kill you.
Leave Jar
Yeah,
Jar.
the-
Leave Jar Jar.
I'm just saying.
Jar Jar has
Yeah,
had
yeah.
enough.
he's not dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also kind of.
I mean, he also grew up with Palpatine. Like, they grew up in the same home planet.
Yep.
I also think that there's this weird dynamic going on with these characters who like Luke like becoming like this almost in a sense that he's being portrayed like almost like a deadbeat kind of
Yeah.
dad, and then I feel like that's like a recurring thing because like if you read like the Harry Potter book playwright or like he's also kind of like a bad dad as well. It's kind of like this weird thing, and I've kind of noticed in other shows and things like that. It's like this kind of this portrayal like you could be like the biggest hero, but you don't even know how to like
Be a
connect.
dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
be a normal human being.
Yeah.
It humanizes them in a way.
Well, you gotta think
I
about it. This
appreciate
man's been
that.
isolated on this planet.
Well, that was his choice.
Yeah, but you gotta think he hasn't had no human connection outside of Rey, who happens to be his long lost daughter, right? And she,
They haven't said that.
Okay, well,
they haven't said that. Let's not
Yeah.
jump
I'm
to a
pretty
conclusion.
sure
But
I'm just making some
they-
great
Who's
Who's
Luke,
Luke-
who's Luke gonna have sex?
She could
with?
be
They
like
say it without saying
Palpatine's
it.
granddaughter for all you know.
Like, who's Luke gonna have sex with? Because this is what I'm saying. Like, Jedi are not supposed to have relationships.
Right.
That's what
But
led to
they
the
do
fall
anyway.
of Anakin.
But they do anyway.
No, yeah, whoa. There was only, technically, in canon, there was only Anakin that, like, you know,
Yeah.
got his groove on. And so,
I mean, technically, it wasn't like at that point.
I
you-
don't
Yeah, 'cause
think-
they kind of
I don't think
just
Luke
make
is
that
her
line
father.
though.
Yeah.
That's who she is. I don't know
I
why
don't-
they would try to mislead it
it's
so that
I
we
don't know.
unless she's gonna
It's
be
too obvious.
like I don't know unless she turns out like Darth Vader had another kid somewhere
Jesus
along the line and it
Christ.
happens to be her.
What
Unlikely.
if, and this is a weird twist, what if Han and Leia had twins and they didn't know?
They go the twin. Yeah,
I could see
'cause
that.
There's
I
weird
could see
dynamic
that.
between Kylo and Rey.
Yeah, that
so,
strange connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
that's
they
it.
they had
I mean-
twins and didn't know, and then so Luke was like, well, I'm going to take this one and I'm going to separate it because I sense the dark side.
Yeah.
You know,
I could see that.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm just drawing conclusions, but I can definitely say there is no way Rey is Luke's daughter.
Yeah.
It's too obvious for Disney.
Oh yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Dude, we should bet on
Maybe.
it. We should bet on it.
She's Yoda's grandchild. I'm telling you, like.
Jar Jar Binks' descendant.
Jesus.
We got to bet on it.
Yoda might not have had
Maybe.
relationships, but just osmosis.
I don't know. I would hope they go with the dark route. I think it would just
Yeah.
be more interesting if she
Yeah.
goes to the dark side.
That would be
and
pretty
Luke has to
awesome.
come out of hiding and kind of own up. I mean, then it has to be his kid, because then it's just like it adds that suspense. And then if they battle, like I feel like it'd be just like another Anakin Obi-Wan thing, and it'd just be awesome. And they could have the you weren't supposed to be the chosen one moment.
Yeah.
I still quote that. Me and my family still
You
quote
were
that
the
to this day.
chosen one.
I hate you. Like he's just like, oh, it was so good. Like,
I
it
had the
just
high
was
ground
so
on a gun.
I will never forget like when I first started working at GameStop like years ago, and I have this like real close friend of mine, and his little brother would come in, and at the time his little brother was like maybe like 7 or 8. He's like a full grown kid now, but like at the time he would come in, and my friend Ben would be like, "All right, do the thing." And so this kid would get on the floor and drag himself with one hand and go,
Oh.
I hate you!
It's so good. It's so good.
I hate you!
We
You
still
were the
quote that
chosen
now.
one.
We still quote that now. Like, well, watching anything, and if the person's the chosen one, we always say that.
You know what? Like,
So it's such an iconic moment. Like,
people
it'd be so nice
people
to
bag
have
on the prequels, but I feel like the prequels are the most quotable.
Oh, yeah.
And episode 3 in particular is the most
Dude,
memorable
episode
out
3
of
was
all
like
of them.
When he
amazing.
turns you the
I-
whole transition of it was just like.
I loved episode 3. I thought
I mean,
it was a good
it was the
movie.
first episode that caught people off guard, wasn't it? Like with the whole Anakin
I think so.
switching over
Yeah.
to the dark
Well,
side.
Well, I
don't
mean,
think
that
it
was
caught
kind of
everyone
obvious
knew
because, you know,
because
he's
Darth
Darth Vader.
went- Yeah, but like episode 1 was trash.
Yeah,
we don't,
definitely.
we
We
don't-
don't even talk about
Yeah,
that.
we don't talk. It doesn't
If
exist.
anybody remembers it, they just remember 3. Like,
Yeah, and
Just like,
2 was
yeah.
just kind of meh.
Eh.
It didn't really need to happen, and it was awkward. Like when I watched
Especially
that,
that car scene. Do you remember that car scene?
No,
Where
the
he's-
worst. The worst is not the car scene. It's the scene where he's trying to seduce Queen Amidala.
Oh my god.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, Senator Amidala.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you know, if it was the real world, like she would have left. Like
Yeah.
she was playing him
Yeah.
the whole time. Like, how are you gonna be like, no, Anakin, no, and then I'm gonna come out in this scantily clad, you know, like leather outfit.
Yeah.
You know, like he got played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would just be so interesting. Like maybe it is true. Then I mean they leave it open. They leave episode 7 so open to like what are the dynamics? Like who is Rey? Like
It's funny because Palpatine
Yeah.
never would have gotten into like the position that he got without Jar Jar.
That's true.
Yeah, Jar Jar is what got him to like the Chancellor.
Yeah, because he made the
Yeah.
nomination to
Yeah.
have him be Supreme Chancellor.
Yeah.
But they say he was played by Palpatine, which obviously he was.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
Um,
'cause Jar Jar.
Yeah, you know, a crazy theory that has been going around on the internet is Rey being Palpatine's daughter.
That's what I've been
Because
saying.
they were like, I saw a bunch of
She
videos
acts
on
a lot
YouTube
like-
about her stance.
Yeah.
It's like, and the way she fights with a lightsaber is
Mhm.
just like Palpatine. We don't know. I mean,
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Eventually. I mean, unless we don't find out, just plot.
Wouldn't it
holes.
be interesting? Because they
It would
don't
be
have
awesome.
rules like.
And then
Like,
that
they
would like
embrace
coincide
a
with
lot.
like her turning into the
know.
dark side.
But she's like what? She's like our age, maybe like in her 20s, maybe.
Yeah, but I mean,
Timeline wouldn't. She'd have to be a little older, just a little.
Maybe
bit.
he had her in secret, tucked her
Yeah.
away. You know, like
or granddaughter.
they did it with Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah, granddaughter.
They could granddaughter it, but
Yeah.
he'd still have to have a daughter somewhere.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Maybe.
Or a son.
But it still doesn't add up with like her getting the flashbacks from the lightsaber that's Luke's. So I would then say then the Han Solo being that the Kylo Ren twin thing, that's probably more plausible.
Probably.
Another twin, another set of twins.
I
I
mean,
mean, once you have one.
did
twin,
they chop any hands off
Once
in
you have-
episode 7?
Yes, he runs in a family. No.
No, I didn't shove any.
He got,
It's a miracle.
He got the symbolic scar. Like,
Oh, well,
on his
yeah.
face.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe Ray
I
will
like
lose a
Kylo
hand
Ren.
or Finn.
I like it.
Finn
I
loses
really
a
I feel
hand.
like
Finn's
Ray's
gonna
gonna
lose
lose a hand.
I make a joke because you know the game Friday the 13th.
Mhm.
Like Jason's grab, how it just stretches across like everything, and he'll
Yeah.
grab you a little bit there, and he'll grab you. Remember, my friends always be like, "Yeah, that's a Kylo Ren grab." Like, there's no way. It's just like
I loved when he stopped
Yeah.
that laser blast in that village.
Oh
like
yeah.
he got
Yeah.
shot at, and he's just like, and I was like, whoa, I ain't ever seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the power of the dark side. But alright, so unfortunately this was a shorter episode due to some time conflicts, but we can wrap it up there. I think we had a pretty good discussion.
Oh, definitely.
So you can go ahead and check all the links in the description to our Twitter, our Facebook, our Twitch, and our Discord that you can join to keep up to date with us and chat to us whenever you like. We do stream every Tuesdays around 8, 9 o'clock. We always will tweet it out, or you'll see it on our Facebook page. We'll let you know, hopefully. We'll let you know, hopefully sometime soon, of what we'll be streaming. We'll probably do we're going to be finishing up the Resident Evil stream for this month of October for Halloween. Please. I'm trying to have a serious outro here.
My eyes are burning, not from the lights, but from the dancing.
But, anything else we're going to add?
No.
Alright, we're all good. Make sure you leave a comment down below or hit up our Discord to give us topics that you'd like to see us talk about. And we'll wrap it up for today. Sorry again for the shorter episode. Hopefully it'll be longer next time. Thank you so much, and goodbye.